Welcome to the Third Avenue Wellness Podcast, formerly known as Meditations with Desi. Why this change? It's time for me to really lean into my expertise. It's time for me to really believe in myself. I've held myself back for too long. I've always felt like a fake Aries just because I had all of these dreams, all of these ideas, and most of the time I was just handing them off to other people versus really figuring out how to bring my ideas and bring my dreams and my beliefs to life. So I thank y'all for being on the Meditations with Desi ride for me for the last 3 years, and my other podcasts, which I won't name because I think there's still some episodes out there. But if you figure it out, you figure it out. Go listen and enjoy. I was in college, young, fine, and in my prime. No, I'm in my prime right now, actually. But yeah. And so there'll also be a lot of humor because if I'm gonna do anything, I gotta laugh too. And we need laughs these days when so much shit ain't funny. All right. But I want to tell y'all the story behind the name. When I was a little girl, my mom and I attended our family church. This is the same church that all of the elders in my family attended, so naturally we attended the church as well. Now, my mom was a single mom, so most of the time she was working on the weekend. My mom, who is 4'11", worked as a bouncer, I don't know if she was technically a bouncer, but she took the money at the door at my uncle's club. My uncle had a club in Selma. So my little short mama, she was there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. So she didn't always make it to church because she was working to provide for me because it was just her and I. But there was a point when my mom wanted to stop working at the club because, it was hectic and it caused tension between her and other family members. And so she did stop. She tried looking for another job, eventually got one, and it just wasn't as much money as she was making working at the club. At this time, she found herself short of some of the money she needed to pay our light bill. Now, my mom had been going to this church since she was a little girl, mind you. The church had a bill program, and my mom wanted to go and see if they would help pay her light bill because there were a lot of other members who had gotten help, and I won't get into the reasons of why it's messy, and this ain't the place to be messy. I'm just telling you the story. But long story short, they wouldn't give my mom any help because they said she didn't come to church enough. And that really shattered her relationship with that church. And as a result, we mostly stopped going. Because at the point, we would attend, maybe she would attend with me maybe once or twice a month. But most of the time I would go with my grandma because my grandma was getting up going to that church regardless of how long, how late she was at that club. That's just how she was. And I was in the choir. My auntie was in the choir, so she had to get us there. My mom also didn't have a car. My mom still don't drive to this day, y'all. Once they told her that she didn't come to church enough, so they wouldn't help her pay her light bill, she didn't go back. And the Sundays when I wasn't with my grandma and it was just me and my mom, we had church in our living room. We would listen to Fred Hammond. That's who I remember the most. We would listen to Fred Hammond. We would sing together. We would dance together. And that was the first place I remember looking back over my life where a sense of wellness was cultivated outside of the spaces that were supposed to make us well, that were supposed to be safe for us. She taught me in that moment that wellness wasn't something that is often given to marginalized folks in this world. It's something that we have to build. is something that we have to cultivate in this house where we lived. This is also my favorite childhood home, mind you. It was on 3rd Avenue, and the address was 803 3rd Avenue, Selma, Alabama. I still remember that exact address, and that was my safe space. That was our home, our sanctuary. It was our everything. That time has stuck with me so significantly throughout my life as I have encountered space after space, system after system, organization after organization that do the work of care, but don't actually do the work of care. And that's how 3rd Avenue Wellness was born, out of my belief that wellness should be accessible and that it is something that we do have to build in spite of and outside of these historical systems that have failed us time and time again. And to do that, and to do that right, to build that, I had to step out. And Meditations with Desi just wasn't big enough. It wasn't full enough for how I need to function in this moment. Nina Simone said an artist's duty is to reflect the times. And pushing for this launch in this moment is me reflecting the times, is reflecting my own personal growth journey, reflecting the needs of the world for me to fully show up. So this relaunch is me fully showing up, not half-assing it, not waiting for permission, not asking for permission, but just doing what needs to be done. So thank you for sticking with me, and welcome to the 3rd Avenue Wellness Podcast, your digital wellness space. And I'm Desi Hall, your teacher. Stay tuned. New episodes weekly on Sundays. Get into it. We need you. We need each other. We can't get through this moment, and we won't get through the moment of reconstruction, the moment of victory, the moment of safety without togetherness. As we survive these times, as we move beyond this time, something that needs to be lost is our deep sense of individualism. If the crumbling of the American infrastructure has taught us anything, it's that individualism will never save us. Because when the system goes down, when the system falls apart, community is what will be left. Your neighbor who got the garden in the backyard is what's going to be left. Your neighbor 3 streets over with the chickens who can give you some eggs in exchange for you cutting their grass, in exchange for you watching their children. Now, don't let everybody watch our children, but you get what I'm saying. We need communities to survive these times, and we need wellness, and we deserve wellness, and we are reclaiming wellness. It takes a lot to be well in a marginalized body. And oftentimes we don't have access to all of those things. But we will build with what we can, and we will cultivate with what we can. I love you. Thank you. And welcome. Welcome. Okay, why is it doing that? I'm trying to scream welcome out loud, and it's going to do a vocal isolation. Hold on. Welcome! All right. And to those of you who are new, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce the king of this castle, my baby. Now, he get tired of me waking him up. He see it. But, sir, you got to say hi to the people. Say hi. Say hey, baby. Say hey. Say hey, turkey. That's one of his many nicknames. You see, my baby got a belly, so my mama started calling him Turkey. All right. Bye, y'all.